Welcome my dear friends to my channel, Cozy Gaming Heaven. In today's podcast video, Wonders of Creation, where we explore the magnificent tapestry of our universe through the lens of faith and wonder. And today we're embarking on an awe-inspiring journey through the very beginning of everything. The creation story is told in the book of Genesis. Get ready to be amazed as we unpack the 7 days of creation, marveling at the beauty, order, and intricate design of our cosmos. Whether you're a person of faith, a curious seeker, or simply someone who loves to ponder the big questions of existence, this episode promises to fill you with wonder and maybe even spark some deep conversations. So let's take a deep breath, open our minds and hearts, and travel back to the very dawn of time itself. Before we dive into the day-by-day account of creation, let's set the stage with the opening verses of Genesis. These words have captivated imaginations and sparked discussions for thousands of years. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was over the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. Genesis 1 verses 1 to 2z. Isn't that beautiful? In just 2 sentences, we're presented with a cosmic canvas of infinite possibility. The phrase "without form and void" in Hebrew is tohu wabohu, which paints a picture of an empty, chaotic expanse waiting to be filled with order and life. And hovering over this primordial scene is the Spirit of God, in Hebrew, Ruach Elohim. This phrase can also be translated as the breath of God or a mighty wind. It's as if the creative power of the divine is poised, ready to speak existence into being. Now let's embark on our journey through the 7 days of creation, shall we? Day 1. Let there be light. Our story begins with these familiar words. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw that the light was good. And God separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening and there was morning, the first day. Genesis 1 verses 3 to 5e. Imagine, if you will, the first burst of radiance piercing through the cosmic darkness. It's a moment of pure creative power, setting the stage for everything that follows. But what exactly is this light? Some interpret this light as the birth of electromagnetic radiation itself, the fundamental force that allows us to see and experience the world around us. Others see it as a metaphor for the dawning of order and purpose in the universe. What's fascinating is how this ancient text mirrors some aspects of modern cosmology. The idea of light emerging from darkness resonates with scientific theories about the early universe, such as the concept of cosmic inflation followed by the release of the cosmic microwave background radiation. But beyond the physical, this separation of light and darkness establishes one of the most fundamental rhythms of our existence, the cycle of day and night. It's a pattern that has shaped life on Earth since its inception, influencing everything from our sleep cycles to the migration patterns of animals. Isn't it amazing to think that every sunrise we witness is an echo of this first primordial dawn? Each new day is a reminder of that initial burst of creative energy, an invitation to approach our lives with renewed purpose and wonder. Day 2, the firmament. As we move to the 2nd day of creation, we encounter a concept that has puzzled scholars and scientists alike. And God said, "Let there be an expanse in the midst of the waters, and let it separate the waters from the waters." And God made the expanse and separated the waters that were under the expanse from the waters that were above the expanse. And it was so. And God called the expanse heaven. And there was evening and there was morning, the 2nd day. Genesis 1 verses 6 to 8e. The expanse mentioned here is sometimes translated as firmament or vault. In the ancient Near Eastern worldview, this was often conceived as a solid dome over the earth, separating the waters above, which could fall as rain, from the waters below. While this might seem strange to our modern understanding, it's important to remember that the Genesis account isn't primarily a scientific textbook, but a narrative meant to convey deeper truths about the nature of creation and our place in it. From a spiritual perspective, this separation of waters can be seen as another step in bringing order to chaos. It's establishing boundaries and creating space, both literal and metaphorical, for life to flourish. Interestingly, this concept of separation or distinction is a recurring theme in the creation narrative. We see it with light and darkness, and we'll see it again in the coming days. It's as if the act of creation involves not just making things, but defining them, giving them identity and purpose. In our own lives, we often find that creativity involves a similar process of separation and definition. Whether we're writing a story, composing a piece of music, or even organizing our living space, we're engaged in the act of bringing order to chaos, of separating this from that to create something new. So the next time you look up at the sky, whether it's a clear blue expanse or a canopy of stars, take a moment to marvel at this incredible firmament. It's not just empty space, but a masterfully crafted environment that makes our existence possible. Day 3. Land and vegetation. As we enter the third day of creation, we see the emergence of dry land and the first forms of life. And God said, "Let the waters under the heavens be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear." And it was so. God called the dry land earth, and the waters that were gathered together he called seas. And God saw that it was good. And God said, "Let the earth sprout vegetation, plants yielding seed, and fruit trees bearing fruit in which is their seed, each according to its kind on the earth." And it was so. The earth brought forth vegetation, plants yielding seed according to their own kinds, and trees bearing fruit in which is their seed, each according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening and there was morning the third day. Genesis 1 verses 9 to 13b. Can you picture it? The waters receding, revealing majestic mountains, rolling hills, and fertile valleys. And then, in a burst of creative energy, the land erupts with life, tender shoots of grass, sturdy trees, delicate flowers in every hue imaginable. This day marks a significant shift in the creation narrative. We move from the forming of inanimate elements, light, sky, and land, to the creation of life itself. And not just any life, but life that can perpetuate itself through seeds and fruit. The phrase "according to their kind" is repeated here, emphasizing the diversity and specificity of creation. Each plant is unique with its own purpose and place in the ecosystem. It's a beautiful reminder of the incredible biodiversity we see in our world today. From the towering redwoods of California to the delicate orchids of the Amazon rainforest, from the resilient cacti of the desert to the lush grasslands of the African savanna, each plant is a testament to the creativity and wisdom of the Creator. But this day isn't just about the beauty of creation. It's also about its functionality. The plants aren't just there to look pretty. They're described as yielding seed and bearing fruit. They're part of a grand, interconnected system designed to sustain and perpetuate life. In our modern world, where we're increasingly aware of the importance of environmental stewardship, this passage takes on new significance. It reminds us that we're part of a beautifully designed ecosystem, with each element playing a crucial role. So the next time you bite into a juicy apple, smell a fragrant rose, or feel grass beneath your feet, take a moment to marvel at the wonder of plant life. Each leaf, each petal, each blade of grass is a small miracle, a testament to the creative power that brought our world into being. Day 4. Sun, Moon, and Stars. As we reach the middle of our creation week, we encounter one of the most magnificent displays of cosmic creativity. And God said, "Let there be lights in the expanse of the heavens to separate the day from the night. And let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. And let them be lights in the expanse of the heavens to give light upon the earth." And it was so. And God made the two great lights, the greater light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night, and the stars. And God set them in the expanse of the heavens to give light on the earth, to rule over the day and over the night, and to separate the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening and there was morning the fourth day. Genesis 1 verses 14 to 19b. Isn't it fascinating that the sun, moon, and stars are created after the earth and plant life? This order has puzzled many readers over the centuries. But remember, the Genesis account isn't necessarily meant to be a chronological, scientific explanation of how the universe came to be. Instead, it's telling us about the purpose and meaning behind creation. In many ancient Near Eastern cultures, the sun, moon, and stars were often worshipped as deities. But in this account, they are simply created things, important and beautiful, yes, but ultimately just part of God's creation, designed to serve specific purposes. Let's break down these purposes. 1. to separate day from night. This reinforces the rhythm established on the first day, providing a clear delineation between light and darkness. 2. 4 signs and seasons. The movements of celestial bodies have long been used to mark time and predict seasonal changes, crucial for agriculture and navigation. 3. 4 days and years. This gives us our basic units of time, allowing us to structure our lives and record our history. 4. To give light upon the earth. Beyond just illumination, this light is essential for life, driving photosynthesis and regulating countless biological processes. The sun is described as the greater light and the moon as the lesser light, with the stars almost as an afterthought. But oh, what an afterthought! When we gaze up at the night sky and see the vast expanse of stars, each one a distant sun, possibly with its own planets, it fills us with awe at the sheer scale of creation. This passage invites us to see the universe not as a cold, meaningless void, but as a carefully crafted system, designed with purpose and infused with beauty. The same sun that warms our skin and grows our food also paints breathtaking sunsets. The moon that guides nocturnal creatures also inspires poets and lovers. And the stars? They've guided explorers, sparked scientific curiosity, and filled us with wonder for millennia. So the next time you feel the warmth of sunlight on your face, catch a glimpse of the moon peeking through clouds, or find yourself under a starry sky, take a moment to ponder the magnificence of these celestial lights. They're not just distant balls of gas, but beacons of hope, reminders of the order and beauty woven into the very fabric of our universe. Day 5. Sea creatures and birds. As we move into the 5th day of creation, we see the waters and skies come alive with a dazzling array of creatures. And God said, "Let the waters swarm with swarms of living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the expanse of the heavens." So God created the great sea creatures and every living creature that moves, with which the waters swarm, according to their kinds, and every winged bird according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. And God blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful and multiply and fill the waters in the seas, and let birds multiply on the earth." And there was evening and there was morning, the 5th day. Genesis 1 verses 20 to 23 ESV. Can you imagine the explosion of life this represents? In the seas, we have everything from microscopic plankton to enormous whales, from colorful tropical fish to mysterious deep-sea creatures. And in the skies, a wonderful variety of birds, from tiny hummingbirds to majestic eagles, from flightless penguins to soaring albatrosses. The phrase "swarm with swarms" in Hebrew gives a sense of teeming abundance. It's not just a few fish here and there, but waters absolutely brimming with life. This reflects the incredible biodiversity we see in our oceans today, which are home to an estimated 2.2 million species. And that's not counting the many species yet to be discovered. Notice again the emphasis on "according to their kinds." This highlights the diversity of creation, with each species uniquely designed for its particular environment and role in the ecosystem. From the streamlined body of a dolphin to the specialized beak of a woodpecker, we see evidence of incredible design and adaptation. But there's something new in this passage, a blessing. For the first time, God speaks directly to his creation, blessing them and commanding them to be fruitful and multiply. This blessing of fertility ensures the continuation and flourishing of these species. It's worth noting that this blessing comes with a purpose: to fill the waters in the seas and to multiply on the earth. Each creature has its place in the grand tapestry of creation, contributing to the balance and beauty of the whole. This day of creation reminds us of the incredible diversity and abundance of life on our planet. From the deepest ocean trenches to the highest mountain peaks, life finds a way to thrive in the most astonishing variety of forms. So the next time you watch a flock of birds soaring overhead, hear the song of a whale echoing through the ocean, or simply observe a goldfish in a bowl, take a moment to marvel at these living wonders. Each one is a unique expression of creative genius, a small but significant part of the grand symphony of life. Day 6. Land animals and humans. As we arrive at the 6th day of creation, we witness the pinnacle of God's creative work. And God said, "Let the earth bring forth living creatures according to their kinds, livestock and creeping things and beasts of the earth according to their kinds." And it was so. And God made the beasts of the earth according to their kinds, and the livestock according to their kinds, and everything that creeps on the ground according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, Let us make man in our image, after our likeness. And let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over the livestock, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God he created him. Male and female he created them. And God blessed them. And God said to them, Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over every living thing that moves on the earth. And God said, Behold, I have given you every plant yielding seed that is on the face of all the earth, and every tree with seed in its fruit. You shall have them for food. And to every beast of the earth, and to every bird of the heavens, and to everything that creeps on the earth, everything that has the breath of life, I have given every green plant for food. And it was so. And God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And there was evening and there was morning, the sixth day. Genesis 1 verses 24 to 31 Nisvi. Well, there's so much to unpack here. Let's take it step by step. First, we see the creation of land animals. Again, we see the phrase according to their kinds, emphasizing the diversity of creation. From the mighty elephant to the tiny ant, from the swift cheetah to the slow-moving sloth, each animal is uniquely designed and has its place in the ecosystem. But then we come to something truly special, the creation of humankind. Notice the change in language here. Instead of simply speaking things into existence, God says, Let us make man in our image, after our likeness. This suggests a deeper level of involvement and intimacy in the creation of humans. The idea of humans being made in God's image, or imago Dei in Latin, has been the subject of much theological reflection over the centuries. It suggests that in some way humans reflect the nature of God. This could refer to our capacity for reason, creativity, love, moral decision-making, or our ability to have a relationship with God. It's important to note that both male and female are explicitly stated to be created in God's image. This affirms the equal dignity and value of all humans regardless of gender. The humans are then given a blessing and a mandate. Like the sea creatures and birds, they're told to be fruitful and multiply. But they're also given dominion over the earth and its creatures. This has sometimes been misinterpreted as a license to exploit nature. But a better understanding might be stewardship, caring for and managing the earth on God's behalf. God also provides for the needs of both humans and animals, giving them plants for food. This initial creation is described as vegetarian, painting a picture of harmony between all creatures. Finally, we get a summary statement that's different from the previous days. Instead of just being good, God looks at everything he has made and declares it very good. It's as if the creation of humans completes the picture, bringing all of creation into its fullest expression of God's intent. This sixth day of creation invites us to ponder our place in the world. As humans, we're part of the created order, made from the same stuff as the animals and plants around us. Yet we're also unique, bearing the image of God and given a special responsibility to care for the rest of creation. This balance of being both part of nature and set apart within it challenges us to live wisely and compassionately. We're called to use our unique abilities, our creativity, our reason, our capacity for love and morality, to be good stewards of the earth and all its creatures. So the next time you interact with an animal, whether it's petting a dog, watching wildlife, or even swatting a mosquito, remember that we share this planet with a vast array of fellow creatures, each with its own place in the grand design. And as you go about your daily life, consider how you can fulfill your role as a caretaker of this beautiful world we've been given. Day 7. Rest. As we come to the seventh day of creation, we encounter something quite different. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the seventh day God finished his work that he had done. And he rested on the seventh day from all his work that he had done. So God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it God rested from all his work that he had done in creation. Genesis 2 verses 1 to 3. After 6 days of bustling creativity, we come to a day of rest. This might seem anticlimactic at first glance, but it's actually profound in its implications. First, notice that God doesn't just stop working, He actively rests. This rest isn't due to fatigue, and all-powerful God doesn't get tired, but is a deliberate ceasing from creative activity. It's as if God steps back to appreciate and enjoy what He has made. Then we see that God blesses this day and makes it holy. This is significant. It's the first thing in the Bible that's described as holy. The concept of holiness here is tied to rest and appreciation of creation, not to activity or productivity. This seventh day becomes the basis for the Sabbath in Jewish tradition, a day set apart for rest and worship. It's a radical concept in many ways. In a world that often values constant productivity, the idea of regular, sanctioned rest is revolutionary. But this rest isn't just about taking a break. It's about stepping back to appreciate the beauty and goodness of creation. It's about taking time to enjoy relationships, with God, with others, with the world around us. It's about remembering that our value isn't in what we produce, but in who we are as part of God's good creation. The pattern of 6 days of work followed by 1 day of rest also gives us a model for the rhythm of our lives. It reminds us of the importance of balance, of times of productive activity and times of restful appreciation. In our modern, always connected world, the concept of true rest can seem almost foreign. But this ancient wisdom reminds us that rest is not a luxury, it's a vital part of the created order, built into the very fabric of the universe. So the next time you take a day off, or even just a moment to pause and breathe, remember that you're participating in a divine pattern. You're not just recharging your batteries, you're engaging in a sacred practice as old as creation itself. Reflections on the creation story. As we come to the end of our journey through the 7 days of creation, let's take a moment to reflect on some of the overarching themes and lessons we can draw from this magnificent narrative. 1. Order and purpose. Throughout the creation account, we see a progression from chaos to order. Each element of creation is given its place and purpose. This reminds us that our universe isn't a random accident, but a carefully crafted system where everything has its role to play. 2. Diversity and interconnectedness. The repeated phrase, according to their kinds, highlights the incredible diversity of creation. Yet all these diverse elements work together in a complex, interconnected system. It's a beautiful picture of unity in diversity. 3. Goodness of creation. God repeatedly declares His creation good, and finally very good. This affirms the inherent value and beauty of the natural world, challenging us to appreciate and care for it. 4. Human responsibility. Humans are given a unique place in creation, made in God's image and given dominion over the earth. This isn't a license to exploit, but a call to responsible stewardship. 5. Importance of rest. The inclusion of a day of rest in the very structure of creation highlights the importance of balance in our lives. It reminds us that we're more than just what we produce. 6. Creativity and beauty. The creation account is full of vibrant imagery and poetic language. It portrays God as a master artist and invites us to approach the world with a sense of wonder and appreciation for its beauty. 7. Relationality. From the Spirit of God hovering over the waters to the creation of humans in God's image, we see that relationship is at the heart of creation. The universe is not a cold, mechanical system, but a relational reality designed for communion between God, humans, and the rest of creation. It's important to remember that the purpose of the Genesis creation account isn't primarily to provide a scientific explanation of how the universe came to be. Instead, it's telling us why the universe exists and what our place in it is. It's a story that invites us to see the world with new eyes of wonder, gratitude, and responsibility. Whether you understand this account literally or metaphorically, the essential truths it conveys remain powerful and relevant. It tells us that we live in a universe that was intentionally created, that has intrinsic value and beauty, and in which we have a unique and important role to play. So, dear friends, as we close our exploration of the 7 days of creation, I invite you to take a fresh look at the world around you. Marvel at the intricate design of a flower or the vastness of the night sky. Consider your own place in this grand tapestry of creation, and perhaps take some time to rest and simply appreciate the wonder of existence. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the beginning of everything. I hope it's left you with a sense of awe at the beauty and order of our universe, and perhaps some new perspectives to ponder. Remember, every sunrise is an echo of that first, "Let there be light." Every creature we encounter is a unique brushstroke in the masterpiece of creation. And every moment of rest is a participation in the divine pattern established at the very foundation of the world. Until next time, encouraging you to keep exploring, keep wondering, and keep appreciating the magnificent world we're blessed to be a part of. May you find joy in the beauty of creation and purpose in your role within it.